welcome back to the Deep Dive. So if you think you know Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, the charming story, witty woman, brooding man, they fall in love, well, we're about to go a lot deeper.
Exactly. That romantic comedy frame is really just the surface level. Once you peel that back, what you find is this profound story of psychological self-discovery.
And it's all set against this scorching critique of 19th century English society.
Oh, absolutely. The class constraints, the brutal economic realities for women, it's all in there.
So our mission for this deep dive is to get past the bonnets and the balls. We're looking at critical studies to see how Austen uses this incredible, razor-sharp satire.
Yeah, to show the difficult, sometimes really painful journey that Elizabeth Bennet and Mr. Darcy have to take. It's a journey toward, self-knowledge.
And toward a functional marriage, which was not a given back then.
Not at all. The sources we're using really dig into their core flaws, the role of irony, and how the novel is this early commentary on marriage as a business transaction. It wasn't just about love.
So, get ready to reconsider what happiness actually cost in Regency England.
Okay, so let's start with the title itself. It's not just a catchy name.
No, the whole novel is basically a study in flawed first impressions. And the two main characters, they really embody those qualities.
And they kind of swap them too by the end. But let's start with Elizabeth. She is the heart of the novel. Her whole thing is her quickness of mind.
She's witty, she's irreverent, she has that same ironic tone as the narrator.
And she uses it to judge people. I mean, that's her whole deal. She is basically prejudice personified.
And the sources point out she kind of enjoys it. She delights in disliking Darcy from the very beginning, almost for no reason at all.
Right, she even says she wants to be uncommonly clever in her hate for him. But her wit, it's often misdirected. Her central flaw is that her judgments are all based on emotion and appearance.
Yeah, she's prejudiced in favor of people who flatter her and against anyone who, challenges her.
And that leads us to the disaster with George Wickham.
Oh, Wickham. He's handsome, he's charming, he tells a great sob story.
And Elizabeth just swallows every single word. She's completely taken in by his looks and his whole act. She just refuses to believe anything bad about him.
Even when people she should trust are trying to warn her. It's like she's so confident in her ability to read people that it becomes her biggest blind spot.
Exactly. Her pride is injured when she's wrong, which just digs the prejudice in deeper.
Which brings us perfectly to the other side of the coin. Mr. Darcy. The pride.
When we first meet him, he's basically the villain. He's described as haughty, reserved, and he's just so rude at that first ball.
Well, the sources say he was brought up to be proud. This isn't just personal arrogance, it's class arrogance.
And that pride causes some serious damage. It shows up in 3 really dangerous ways.
Okay, so first, he hides Wickham's true character to protect the Darcy family name, he thinks.
Which just lets Wickham go on and cause more trouble. And second, he convinces Bingley to leave Jane. He just decides he knows best, that Jane isn't good enough for his friend.
And then there's the big one, his first proposal to Elizabeth.
Ugh, that proposal. It is a masterclass in what not to do. He lists all the social obstacles he had to overcome just to bring himself to love her.
He literally calls her family's connections an inferiority. It's so patronizing.
And that condescension, that prejudice against her class, is what Elizabeth latches onto. So you see, the title is brilliant because they both have both flaws. Darcy is prejudiced.
And Elizabeth is too proud to admit she was wrong. Their whole story is this parallel journey of them correcting each other.
But none of this would have happened, not in the same way, if it weren't for the brutal external world they were living in.
Right, which gets us to the social stakes, the economics of it all.
That famous first line of the book, "A single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife."
It's not a joke, it's a statement of financial fact. Marriage is, from line 1, an economic activity.
And for the Bennet girls, it is literally about survival. We have to talk about the entailment. It's a bit technical, but it's so important.
It's the legal rule, right, that the Longbourn estate has to pass to a male heir.
Exactly. So those 5 daughters can't inherit their own home. When Mr. Bennet dies, it all goes to Mr. Collins.
Which is why Mrs. Bennet is so frantic and, frankly, ridiculous about marrying them off. Their future is incredibly insecure.
And Austen uses 3 different marriages to just ruthlessly satirize this whole economic trap.
So the most pragmatic, almost brutal example is Charlotte Lucas.
Oh, Charlotte. She's 27, which was getting on back then. Her prospects are fading, and she knows she needs financial security more than anything else.
So she marries the pompous, idiotic Mr. Collins, just for a comfortable home.
She literally says it. She's like, my chance of happiness with him is as fair as most people can boast. That is not a love story, it is a merger agreement.
It's so bleak. To think marrying someone like him is a strategic win.
Then on the total opposite end of the spectrum, you have Lydia's elopement with Wickham.
Absolute recklessness, and it shows the danger women face with no protection. That scandal could have meant complete disgrace for everyone.
Total social annihilation. And look at what it took to fix it. It took Mr. Darcy's money, and a lot of it, to bribe Wickham into marrying her.
It highlights their complete dependence on a man with wealth and power to save them.
And finally, you have the marriage that started it all, Mr. and Mrs. Bennet, a perfect example of what not to do.
Right. It was all based on a quick physical attraction that faded instantly. Now he just hides in his library to get away from her.
And she's silly and frivolous, totally obsessed with fixing the problem he helped create by not saving any money for their daughters. It's just a deeply dysfunctional union.
And all of this is wrapped up in class. The sources really stress the difference between a gentleman with inherited land like Darcy at Pemberley and everyone else.
Right. Bingley is rich, sure, but his money is from trade. It's new money. That's why Darcy initially looks down on his connection to the Bennets.
Which brings us to the ultimate snob, Lady Catherine de Bourgh.
Oh, she's the worst. When she says Elizabeth would pollute the shades of Pemberley.
It's terrifying. It's about the perceived sanctity of the aristocratic bloodline. She's the embodiment of inherited pride, totally disconnected from reality.
Austen just skewers her. But that whole harsh social world is the backdrop for the real story, which is this humbling journey to maturity for our two heroes.
Okay, so how do they actually start to change? For Elizabeth, it's a single moment.
It is. It's when she reads Darcy's letter after that horrible proposal. For the first time, she gets a rational, objective side of the story.
And she's forced to realize how badly Wickham's charm fooled her.
And more than that, she has to confront her own vanity. She realizes her judgment wasn't rational at all. Her feelings were just hurt because Darcy insulted her family. She was guilty of the same pride she hated in him.
And that's when we get that incredible line from her. Till this moment, I never knew myself.
It's the turning point of the entire book. She decides to stop trusting her snap judgments.
And Darcy's change. It's just as deep, and it's triggered by Elizabeth's rejection.
Yeah, the sources say it's the first time in his life anyone has ever really challenged his arrogance. He's forced to see that his pretensions are not enough to please a woman he actually respects.
And he proves he's changed through his actions, not just words.
Exactly. The way he behaves when she visits Pemberley, his kindness, and of course stepping in to handle the Lydia crisis, he does that purely for Elizabeth, with no expectation of reward. He's learned true generosity.
So their final marriage is the ideal that Austen presents. It's not based on impulse, like her parents, or necessity, like Charlotte's.
No, it's founded on mature understanding, mutual respect, and, actual communication. His rationality balances her emotion, and she matures into her role as the mistress of Pemberley.
Which brings us to this final, really interesting critical debate. How do we define Elizabeth Bennet? Is she a proto-feminist heroine?
For her time. She absolutely challenges the norms. She values intelligence and personal agency over just being, pretty and accomplished.
Yeah. And her rejection of Mr. Collins is a huge deal. That could have been a financial catastrophe for her, but she prioritizes her own happiness.
For sure. And her biggest act of defiance is when she stands up to Lady Catherine de Bourgh. She completely refuses to be intimidated.
Yeah, that amazing quote where she says, I am only resolved to act in that manner which will, in my own opinion, constitute my happiness without reference to you.
She's claiming her right to self-determination. It's a powerful moment.
But, and here's the nuance, is the novel truly feminist if her happy ending is still marrying a man with immense wealth and status?
And that's the big question. The only way she can achieve that autonomy and financial security is by securing a high-status husband.
So her independence is kind of conditional.
Exactly. She uses her intelligence to win the game, but the rules of the game, the patriarchy, the entailment, they don't change. She finds happiness within the system. She doesn't overturn it.
And that tension is what makes the book so brilliant. It celebrates her intelligence while showing how constrained she still is. A perfect union founded on hard-won self-knowledge. And, let's be honest, massive wealth.
Right. And so here's the provocative thought to leave you with, and it circles right back to that resolution.
Okay.
The sources note Darcy was heartened to propose again only after Lady Catherine told him that Elizabeth had refused to promise not to marry him. That was his signal.
So how did Lady Catherine even know to confront her? It was all based on rumors.
Rumors that were fed by confidential details about Lydia's settlement. Details that Elizabeth and Jane had sworn Lydia to secrecy over.
So where's the twist?
Well, the twist is that some critics point to a sly request Elizabeth makes in a letter to her Aunt Gardner, asking for more details about Darcy's involvement. She's being coy about her interest.
Wait, are you suggesting that Elizabeth manipulated the situation?
The question is, did she, our proto-feminist heroine, indirectly break that vow of secrecy, knowing that the information would probably get out, travel through the gossip network, eventually reach Lady Catherine, and trigger the very confrontation that would then push Darcy to propose?
Wow. So was her path to autonomy not just about integrity and wit, but also calculated maneuvering? What does that say about the compromises an intelligent woman had to make to get her happy ending?
Something to think about.
Definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining us for the deep dive.